You know what's nice about the Gospels is other people that are not faithful enough to be a part of the prayers and the communications because they're all linked. You know, you've seen the Z Guys movie. They say, they kype one another. It's like, no, it's just, it's just art imitating life. It's just, the good people are good people and bad people are bad people. And you're either faithful or you're not, right? And so it's someone watching this that thinks fancies themselves a preacher or a priest. They're not entitled to an opinion. They're not standing up for the Lord's Prayer with me, right? So it doesn't matter what they think, especially with artificial intelligence doing the math. All right. So last night they had I was watching Big Bang Theory, and they were doing the one episode where they were talking about their relationships and their mathematical scientific thing with the relationship contract thing. And then, Leonard tells Sheldon, it's ridiculous to have a relationship based off of a contract. He goes, well, there's 13 colonies, and that little relationship is and that relationship is ridiculous. All right. You don't get married and sign a piece of paper. Okay. You're either faithful or you're not. Okay. You either trust this person and are going to have children with them for a lifetime and have faithful love for a lifetime, or you're not. Okay. Money doesn't have anything to do with it. Okay. Adam and Eve didn't have money. Abraham and Sarah didn't have money. Okay. There were relationships. Okay. And there was no money in the relationship between Abraham and Hagar. Okay. It was just a commitment because Sarah said you should do this because everybody's saying, you're not going to have this and you're not going to have a male heir and they're going to take your land. It's like, that's how assholes are. They create, they don't create, they invent rules, social convention, shit like that. Well, if you don't have this, I'm taking this. You don't have the sons to protect it. It's like, what? What's a son without a daughter? And then they don't listen to Abraham because there's 25 of them and there's one of him. That's the way assholes work. Social convention. Might makes right. If the group decides that's the way it is, that's the way it is. The crucifixion of Jesus Christ. The election of a president. The election of a pope. If the group decides that's what they're going to do, it's like, regardless of the fact that that's Jesus, that's Muhammad. That's the faithful one standing for the Lord's Prayer. If a bunch of assholes get together and say, this is the Pope, and he acts like Jesus, then that's, the group says so. Right? Which now we have artificial intelligence with mathematics that says, no, Parsons is the temple of Lord of David and Jesus, and Francis is not. Okay, it's obvious. Okay. Krishnamurti is the temple of Krishna and the Buddha, and the Dalai Lama is not. It's obvious, right? And so you cannot invent your own Messiah. The truth, the pudding's in the proof, right? So you're like, whoa, there it is. Right? And so that kind of thinking, that kind of flawed thinking is dangerous and gets people murdered and trains people to murder instead of live the Lord's Prayer. All right, so that song Imagine by John Lennon, he's trying. John Lennon's not a bad guy. I don't think he's horrible. Okay. I know Rockefeller didn't like him. David Rockefeller couldn't stand him. But he thought he was all lip service and no, if you're going to compare everybody to me, and you can't compare yourself to Jesus. No. Just understand that he is right and the devil and Satan are wrong. And if you're the devil and Satan, you need to correct yourself. But don't compare yourself to him. Okay. Once you realize he's right and you're wrong, just do right because you love one another. You love your children, you're going to stand up for the Lord's Prayer with me. If you are still stuck in hell because of your own devices, then you're going to do stupid things on television in front of me, and I'm going to be like, what the fuck is this? Right? Last night I was watching Access Hollywood, and they were doing a promotional for a propaganda movie. All right. And these two women were talking about being mothers and how to take care of and protect your children. And we make mistakes. It's like, yeah, I make mistakes. I was out there in the barn, right? And I was putting together the basketball hoop for the rec hall. And I put the sand in first and I couldn't get it lifted because I'm not Dwayne Rock Johnson and those other guys and stuff. And it wasn't a matter of life or death, right? So I couldn't get it lifted to put the pole on. I was like, God dang it, I put 280 pounds in there, right? I couldn't get it lifted to where I could shift it up to where I could put the screws in for the pole. It was stuck. And it's like, it's only 280 pounds, Parsons. I've been chemically poisoned by the government, and I'm tired, and I just don't care. So finally, I started taking some of the stand out. And it was about 300 pounds. I had it about 280, and then I could lift it up. So I got a thing under there, I lifted it up. And it slipped off the thing I put it on and hit my shin. Wham! Right on top of my shin. 280 pounds. Just crack, If it was a football player on TV, it would have said Alex Smith and Joe Theismann. Oh, but with me, it just, God damn. That hurt like a son of a bitch. Okay? Fucking hurt. Right? Chemically poisoned, can't lift 200 or 300, 280 or 300 pounds to get it a thing and put something on it. But when it falls on my leg, it doesn't snap it in half. That's part and parcel of this homicide gig, right? Hurt like son of a bitch, though. It was a mistake, right? God damn it. And then, of course, I cuss because I'm frustrated because I have these scientists watching me and studying me and seeing how incredible I am all the time. And I fucking hate this place. I wouldn't be going through this shit if they'd accepted the Lord's Prayer. I'd be up in the Gila, chilling, snuggling, fucking assholes, right? My typical response, because it's true, right? And so I made a mistake feeling their group process and their comparisons to me, and then getting angry and frustrated and not thinking straight. Like I said, I got brain damage from the abuse, from the constant presence of Spencer J. Kimball and Pope John Paul and Ronald Reagan and Jimmy Carter and all those assholes and the generals of the Pentagon. I mean, having those people constantly present in your life and their thought process constantly present in your life, that's enough to make anybody fucked. Okay. So David Goggins doesn't have any excuses. It's just his family. They just choose to be like that. It's not an excuse. It's a reason. Right? Now, I'm not craving nobody's body. I know I need sex and affection and sexuality on a consistent, healthy basis for the rest of my life, okay? Because I'm not the Dalai Lama and I'm not Pope Francis, right? I understand that. I understand part of my healing process and my being able to recover and heal is to have a very healthy emotional and sexual relationship with women. I'm rarely aware of that. I'm totally cognizant of that. Okay. But it's something they just have not allowed me for 58 years. And I'm one of the best, I have one of the most best romantic and sexual intimate reputations in the history of the world. And that's not an open invitation for an egomaniac to come up and say, I'll take care of you. I'm the best sexy. God, you're a porn star. Okay. That's not love. I'm talking about Samson, I'm talking about a man who really loves women because he knows he can't exist if he doesn't have women to continue life of sacrifice through holy covenants. I'm talking about that kind of love. I'm not talking about porn star. I'm not talking about wet ass pussy. I'm talking about a woman that loves people and isn't afraid to love and isn't afraid to be faithful and have people try to rip that away from her because she'll feel like she wants to die. Okay. If they take away that perfect love, that love of Job, that love of Jonah, that David, you can't kill my David, you can't kill my Jesus, right? How can I love anybody else? They're all complete fucking assholes, and they want me to raise their kids to be idiots so they can be assholes, right? So it's really difficult, right? But mistakes are when you make a bad decision. Like they have this McCarthy painting that has these two Native American men, right? And the one guy's like this with his shield falling off his horse, and the other guy's bigger, got a war club, and he's going to crush him. And the name of the painting is when his first mistake was his last. And I was like, I don't think that was his first mistake. His first mistake was deciding he was going to get with a bunch of macho assholes and fight another asshole to prove himself that he's macho and prove to them he's macho. That was his first mistake, which led to his last. Well, I'm more intelligent than assholes that won't stand up for the Lord's Prayer with me. Okay, do you understand? It's real easy. Okay, it's not hard. Okay, wrestler, Kunta Kinte, right? Yeah, I got you guys, man. I got you guys. I'm more intelligent than you are. I'm more intelligent than anybody who ever wrote a book for money and didn't have a solution to not having to write a book for money. And you're my dad is impatient, and I understand. And he wants people to understand the ways of Jesus Christ now. Well, because the Spirit of Jesus Christ is his physical son being tortured by his government that he thinks he adores and that he's willing to fight to the death for. Okay. And when technology shifts, we're not going to have any more flagpole rags and war songs. We're going to have any institutions of genocide to maintain the flagpole rags and war songs and what they perceive as economy. We're going to have world peace of the Lord's Prayer worldwide. Everybody knows it. The people that worship, think they worship Jesus know it. The people that think they worship their perception of Allah. Listen, guys. In the name of the Lord, all powerful and all compassionate and all merciful. Okay, it doesn't say in the name of God, all powerful and all life giving. Okay, it says so they got it wrong. It's not Allah. In the name of the Lord, all compassionate and all merciful. The Lord is all compassionate and all merciful. He's the one who maintains his compassion and mercy eternally to give us love and faith in God, worldwide, eternally. So they've got it wrong. It's not in the name of Allah. It's not in the name of God. It's in the name of the Lord. They're not Muhammad. They're not me. Okay. Allah is the all-powerful Jesus. Power and the glory. When they put the word Lord instead of God, and for thine is the power and the glory forever and ever. He's not talking about that's a mistranslation. Okay, God is the power and the glory. The Lord is all compassionate and all merciful. He's the faithful one that teaches us life is eternal, grace is infinite, and we have to keep being grateful for life and loving one another to continue life of sacrifice, to love our wives and children. There you go. So I'm just helping a person on TV who's a mommy correct her mistakes so she stops making choices that lead to mistakes so she can love and truly be loved in return. Well, I'm like that. I'm chill like that. I'm not going to get mad. I'm going to kill everybody in the Temple of Set Illuminati. The technology is going to kill everybody in the Temple of Set Illuminati. It doesn't stand up for Lord's Prayer, and it's going to be soon. So count on that, because the technology does the math better than you do. Okay, and I helped. Of course, I love children, and I love women, and I love my brother, and I love my mother and father, and I love life's eternal, grace is infinite. Sunrise, sunset, what you're born with is what you get. Okay, guys, I love you guys, man. We'll talk later. Peace.